heavily rely on the recording tonight since our secretary is not here tonight. And we're not sure what's going on with that. So make sure you got your microphones on. We will run the meeting. They're going to record everything that happens over there for a roll call or votes and all of that. So we will have a written recording tonight, but we'll rely on this with our secretary for the recording. So, all right, we'll call this to order. For you to rise, please, for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll get started. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just praise you tonight. We thank you for the health to be here and just the opportunity to serve the city and the citizens. Lord, we just ask for wisdom tonight as we go through the items to just make the best decisions for all involved and just to keep our focus on you as we go. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I will handle the roll call duties, I suppose. All right, Mr. Kazrowski.
Here.
Mr. Mosnovic.
Here.
Mr. Cox.
Here.
I'm here, Mr. Brock. Mr. Heinrichs, suspiciously absent. And Mr. Clark.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. All right, for the Board of Zoning Adjustments meeting, you do have the minutes of our previous meeting that was in January 22nd. So unless there's any corrections needing made on that, I'll accept a motion to approve that as written.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we'll do a roll call here then. Mr. Kazrowski.
Yes.
Mosnovic.
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Clark.
Abstain.
I'll vote yes. We have passed the motion, passed the minutes approval. Okay, we have one item of new business on the Board of Zoning Adjustments tonight, and that is the Walmart Real Estate Business Trust. And this is a public hearing, but it's a variance. So we have someone representing that can come up and tell us what we're looking for this evening. Give us your name and address and what you're asking for.
Hi there, I'm Candace Anderson with CEI Engineering. I'm here to represent Walmart Business Trust. We are asking for a reduction in the landscape islands within the parking field. We are, however, actually exceeding over the amount of landscape that is required for the parking island or parking field. We're just asking for a small reduction on the size of the
All
islands.
right. By the way, I just see our secretary limping in here. She's making her way in. So we'll get her in place here in a moment. All right, so you're basically asking for just a reduction in the size of the islands in the parking lot, but you're not asking for a reduction in the amount of landscaping or any of that?
No, we actually exceed the.
You're
what is
exceeding
required.
that, just the actual island size themselves
Yes.
to be smaller.
That's correct.
Okay, well, if you step back for just a moment, this does require a public hearing. So I will open up the public hearing at this time. We'll call it 6:03. If anyone would like to speak either for or against the granting of this variance? Oh my gosh.
Gotta make an entrance.
You definitely know how to make an entrance.
Thank you, everybody. I apologize that I'm late.
That's all right. Glad you're here. We're having our public hearing. We've had a roll call. Mr. Heinrich is absent.
Do we have a new guy?
He's not official till tomorrow.
All right.
So, and we approved the minutes of the Board of Zoning Adjustments.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was approved. They have a record of the votes over there at the table. So. All right. Sorry for the interruption there, but our secretary knows how to make an entrance for sure. Anyways, as I was saying, this is our public hearing for this item. If you'd like to speak for or against the granting of this variance to allow smaller parking lot islands, come on up to the microphone. I'm happy to hear from you. All right, seeing none, we will close the public hearing here at 6:05. Please come back up. I'll turn it over to the commissioners. You have questions, gentlemen?
I think the letter that was submitted details out specifically why this is a hardship and the complications with the site, so,
Right?
yeah.
And they are still exceeding the amount of landscaping. It's
Green
not like
space,
you're asking
yeah.
for a reduction in landscaping or anything, so. This is what we're in the middle of right now.
I think Ms. Anderson could do a course on how to write variance requests. I would make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the variance that's been seconded. Let our secretary get caught up here. Okay, so we are, yes, we're ready for the vote. Roll call when you're ready.
Make the motion.
Mr. Clark. And our second was Devin Nissen.
All right, ready for roll call?
We are ready, thank you.
Tim Cox,
Yes.
Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Tony Kosarowski,
Yes.
Brian Clark,
Yes.
and Chase is absent, okay? Motion to approve the Walmart Neighborhood Market large-scale development has been approved.
All right. That concludes all the new business for the Board of Zoning adjustments. There's no old business. We have something about signs here on the decision of clarification. Oh, I don't have anything else on the Board of Zoning adjustments unless they've changed the agenda.
We had another item.
Was Brian Lowry dropped? Brian Lowry?
That's on the planning commission.
Oh, you're on the planning commission. No, we're in the Board of Zoning. So we just protest.
Okay. I'm sorry.
We're okay. We're good.
Mr. Chairman?
Had some confusion there.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, for the record, I believe the item that was just approved was submitted by the Walmart Real Estate Business Trust. I'm not sure if that's what was said on the record, but
Walmart Real Estate Business Trust? Yes.
And for the variance, yeah.
Yes, we did that. Yeah.
perfect.
We're good. All right. Let's talk about signs, I guess.
Really what I'm looking for is, for our department and the building division, just more clarification in our ordinances that we already have established. What we're running into recently that's not addressed in our current zones and our current ordinances is the fact that real estate agents in some of the subdivisions are having a problem getting folks to see their development because they're not on the main drive. And what they're asking for is what other cities are, some allowing, some are not. I surveyed them around us. They're asking for permission to put remote signage advertising open houses. However, the fact that since they're open 7 days a week from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, they're wishing not to have to take that signage down. That's the first question, because all of the cities around us require them to remove that when an agent is not present on site. And they're also asking to be able to place them in remote locations, and I think some of those were addressed in the letter that I put in the packet. The townhouse, Parkside Townhouses is asking to put those signs remotely off of their project that's on Zion Church Road and place them at Monroe and North Goad, West Monroe and Zion, Zion Church and Bellevue, so that they can get the major arteries attention that they have property and for sale and open houses. And we don't address that, so I'm not sure how to give them permission or to deny it.
Right.
So I'm asking for some clarity. Also, another situation that we're having is, for example, the Vineyard, the Bishop Vineyard, only access to their new subdivision is off of North Oak, but they're a block and a half north of McClure. So they're wanting to put future homes, and, you know, they're small signs, they're like
Right.
the little signs for like a realtor would put out. Just letting them know that there's new houses for sale, but there again, we don't allow in our ordinances to have off-site
Off-site.
signage.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for some clarity on that, whether we get it this evening or you want to discuss it just to let us know what we're going to approve and not approve.
Right, yeah, I know our sign ordinance does not allow off-site, but, we gotta provide some clarification on this at some point, whether tonight or another meeting, and then you gotta think too, if you allow off-site, you can't, you know, specify it for just realtors may be a tricky thing to do. You know, about garage sales and all these other signs that we allow and don't allow, so.
Who would be in charge of making sure those don't get, expired or sitting out there way too long,
That would be,
cluttering the roads?
The building department, the building official, myself, and the code enforcement officer.
So if we came up with a specific time frame that they could do that, your department would be in charge of making sure all that got taken care of?
Correct.
So, Mr. Kicklake, can you provide some guidance on, like, can you specifically allow real estate and not open a can of worms in lots of other areas?
It seems to me we know the difference between a real estate sign and a sign that said something like live bait right now for sale on the corner where we sell popcorn and coffee. How would you know the difference? You'd have to read the sign. And what our prevailing law right now says, a Supreme Court case that came down a couple of years ago, is if you have to read the sign to know what kind of regulation to apply to it, that violates the First Amendment. In other words, we cannot regulate signs based on their content. We can only regulate them based on reasonable time, place, and manner that you would apply to any kind of other First Amendment regulation. And so what we did, we have had billboard litigation that resulted in the Supreme Court saying, well, billboards are a different kind of off-premises sign. Even though you have to read it to know that it's off-premises, they still allow that kind of regulation. But these kinds of signs are called wayfinding or directional signs, directing you somewhere off-site. That's the very kind of sign that was the subject of the Town of Gilbert case. It was the wayfinding signs. It was, this way to the restaurant, this way to the church. We're having services tonight. And what the city did was said, you can only have those kinds of signs, like 2 of them. You can't have 3 of them or 5 of them. And what the Supreme Court said is, no, you can't decide you like some for 2 signs, and other words for 10 signs. You have to just regulate signs regardless of what they say. I'm not sure how we could accommodate this without reading the sign. In other words, we just basically alter our code to say we allow a business to have 1 off-premises sign. It's going to get a little dicey because we still have to know which business has which sign, but it's going to be difficult to do any of this without reading the sign.
So I was thinking, if we do real estate, it's gonna open up everybody, because you can't say just real estate.
People have to use their social media, whatever else, other ways they advertise to get this done. I know cities might be doing it, and that's great, but I think it's going to be hard to do without violating that Supreme Court case that came down.
Okay,
So it is not against the Supreme Court case for us to say no signs are allowed. Off-premise signs are allowed.
Off-premises signs can be regulated, yeah. And
you just can't regulate it for specific businesses or industries or anything.
Right.
You either allow it or you don't allow it.
or based on the kind of sign it is. Like, for a house for sale sign, we basically regulate down to, we'll be continuing to, as we change our code, we're going to allow signs in people's yards of a certain size. You put whatever you want on it. It doesn't have to say open house or house for sale, or if a sign of a certain size of the kind can go in residential yards. That's it. Doesn't matter what they say.
Okay.
And that addresses, if I'm understanding you correctly, that's addressing the fact that irregardless what the sign says, it's on the property that's actively being sold.
Right.
It's not being posted or off-premise on someone else's property, whether they have their permission or not. Am I looking at that correctly? Okay. So right now, we don't allow the off-premises signs irregardless what they say.
Right,
And because
from our
we
code.
can't determine what they say, so that's, you pretty much gave us the fact that if we change that for real estate, we're violating that First Amendment.
If we're changing that, we're changing the sign ordinance.
Correct,
what we're doing.
correct.
So I don't know if we can provide any more guidance on that tonight, because I think that's pretty clear. We have to change our sign ordinance to even allow.
I just needed your
No, that's good.
clarification so I can say no.
If there was question, I'm happy there was, it's brought up as a discussion, because we need that clarified.
Thank you.
And, and again, sign ordinance can be changed, but that's the clarification right now, is we can't do it for real estate unless we do it for everybody else, and we need to change our ordinance as it stands. So, who knows, maybe that'll be coming up in a future meeting to a public hearing on our sign ordinance, but as it is now. All right, if there's no further discussions, I'll accept the motion to adjourn the board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we'll move directly into the Planning Commission meeting at this time. All right, roll call when you're ready there, ma'am.
Right, thank you.
All righty.
Okay. Tim Cox,
Here.
Ryan Clark,
Here.
Frank Mozipnis,
Here.
Tony Kosarowski,
Here.
Aaron Rock.
Here.
Chase Hendricks, absent. We have four.
All right, thank you. All right, you have the minutes of our March 2nd meeting in your packets. Unless there's any changes needed made, I'll accept the motion to approve those as written.
I do have one change that needs to be made.
Okay?
On item B, we have that Tony said yes twice, and one of those Tonys needs to be me, please.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of that, I did not notice anything else that needed to be addressed or changed.
I'll make that change. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there's no other changes, I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made to approve those as amended. Roll call, please.
Tim Cox,
Yes.
Frank Mozipnis,
Yes.
Aaron Rock,
Yes.
Tony Kosarowski.
Yes.
Ryan Clark.
Abstain?
All right. Thank you. And Chase is absent. Motion to approve the minutes of 3/2/26 as written or with amendment are approved.
All right. Next, we have our public forum. This is when we open up the microphone just for the public to bring anything to our attention that we may need to know about. This is not a public hearing officially. It is just a time that we open this up. So if anyone has anything they'd like to bring to our attention, now's your chance. All right, seeing no one rushing the microphone, we'll close that at 6:19. We have no old business. We have 3 items of new business. The first being the large-scale development for the Walmart neighborhood market. So, come right back up, please. And, give us the lowdown here.
Sure. We are proposed to build a Walmart neighborhood market at the corner of Monroe and Spring Creek. We have full staff approval with large scale. We are making minor adjustments and coordinating with the Springdale Water Utilities currently. We anticipate to get those comments addressed here within the next 2 weeks, fully addressed and sent off to ADH for their review. We have 3 outlots that are proposed at the northwest corner, and of course our fuel station at the northeast corner. There is a karst region that we were very aware of, and our fuel station just remains outside of that karst region.
Okay.
RDOT has a proposed roundabout. We have taken that into consideration in addition to their karst region considerations for their detention ponds, which limited our certain access points to our site, but we addressed those and coordinated with RDOT. As far as landscaping, we intend to landscape the entire site, including on the southern and western portions that are at the back of the property. There are residential on the west side and on the southeast corners, which we intend to have a buffered location with landscape buffering. And I think that pretty much surrounds the
All right.
whole site.
I'll open it up for questions.
May I have your name, please?
Candace Anderson with CEI Engineering.
With,
CEI Engineering.
Yes, I'm here to represent my client Walmart.
Any questions, comments, things you need to know?
Main comments I see here that just said the city said it's not needed were the Spring Street expansion and the dedication of right-of-way for the roundabout. We don't have issue there?
That right-of-way is needed. What they're gonna do is do the fee in lieu of.
Okay, so both of those are fee in lieu of?
Yes, they should have the fee in lieu. RDOT is building out 500 feet from the roundabout as part of the roundabout project. And beyond that, we'll do the fee in lieu for the rest of the road until we build out our portion.
We did make those revisions from the previous submittal.
Oh, so I may be looking at the previous, my apologies.
That's okay.
Yep.
There's a light hatch versus a darker hatch in the northwest corner, or excuse me, northeast corner at the roundabout that wraps around. There's an additional 10 feet.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So city's good?
All right. Anything else? I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion properly made and second to approve the large-scale development. Roll call, please.
Tim Cox,
Yes.
Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Darren Rock,
Yes.
Tony Kosarowski.
Yes.
Brian Clark,
Yes.
and the other guy's absent.
Thank you.
Motion
Thank
to
you.
approve, Walmart neighborhood market large-scale development is approved.
Large-scale development's approved, all right. Our next item of business, Brian Lowry, this is a public hearing, and it's for a conditional use permit renewal. Come right on up, give us your name and address and what we're looking at.
Hello, I'm Melanie Lowry, also at 512 Tumbleweed. Brian is home with the flu,
Oh.
so y'all get me.
Well, tell me to recover quickly, that's been nasty this year.
Thank you. We have a conditional use permit that will be expiring soon for a freezer in our garage, which we're using to store meat
Right.
that we then sell online. And there have not been any changes since we were here last. All of the regulations that we put out as far as business hours, not having deliveries happen at our location, taking those out to other people off-site. All of that has been followed. And when we were here last, we shared that we needed a better long-term solution on freezer storage if we were to grow. We do not have that in place yet, but we are working towards that. We've actually, we're closing on a property in Garfield this month, and we are working to get that lined up and built within the next year. So we just want to extend this so that we can continue doing what we're doing until we get that done.
Okay. All right, if you'd step back for a moment, this is a public hearing, so I'll open that up here at 7:25. If you would like to speak either for or against the renewal of this conditional use permit that's been in place for the last 6 months, we'd love to hear from you. All right, seeing none, did we receive any comments at City Hall? All right, we will close the public hearing then. Come right back up, please. All right, commissioners, questions, comments? I do remember us putting this in place. We had several conditions, which you have in your packet there, that we put on there. Looks like about 7 different conditions we had. And there have been no complaints registered from anyone about this, so.
Yeah.
We must have done well with our conditions. And you've done well with, complying, so.
We've done our very best.
All right. What's your thoughts, commissioners?
So, you're asking for renewal for how long?
We would like 1 year. That would give us enough time to get things settled as far as real estate and set up on a long-term solution.
And I think if I remember, our discussion was that if after 6 months there were no issues, then we would entertain
Yeah.
longer, so.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yep. If no one has any issues, I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit.
With the same conditions for a
Same
1 year
conditions
period?
as initially applied,
For 1 year?
for 1 year, yes.
1 year renewal this time. All right, just to be clear,
Frank made the second.
and Mr. Mosevich has our second, so just to be clear, same conditions we had when we originally granted this, we're just extending the time to a 1 year period this time. And, all right, roll call, please.
Brian Clark,
Yes.
Tony Kosarowski,
Yes.
Darren Clark, Darren Rock,
Yes.
Frank Musevnik,
Yes.
and Tim Cox.
Yes.
Okay. Motion
Thank you.
to approve the Brian Lowry conditional use permit is approved with the same conditions as before.
All right. Always like it when these come back with no complaints and it's going well, so. The last item we have on our agenda is the Master Street Plan Amendment. So, someone like to speak towards this? You have copies of that. I know we've had emails back and forth, and planning for growth is constantly coming at us here. So.
Good evening, Robbie Wilson, McClellan Engineers. I believe you all know me. Mark Malloy with me. He's
Mark
with
Malloy?
McClellan as well, and we're just here to answer any questions you may have about the Master Street Plan Amendment.
Well, I see some needed roads on here as well, for sure.
There's some changes to align with the cities to the north and south of us, and most significantly two roundabouts at key intersections.
So the exhibit is being shown right now, so that's where we took the old layout that was on the website, what's previously been established. There's some highlights on there, try and help note for missions awareness. Here's what we intend on changing. Stuff in gold highlight, yellow highlight, that's what we're changing, adding, upgrading, and there were a couple instances of needing to remove something that just, it didn't make sense, did not seem in the best interest of the big picture.
Mark, do you want the clicker?
What's that?
There's more maps on here if you want to go through it.
Sure. There you go. And so this next graphic here, this is our proposal for the master streets plan that we developed in coordination with Karen and folks over there. So we now have included a list of roundabouts in town, a few existing, several that we have proposed, recommended. There are a couple of instances of project development for all intents and purposes for safety and just access. It does not exist now, but we discussed it with Karen, with the mayor, and with Sarah. I think it's the best idea of the city long-term to upgrade certain roads in keeping with our neighbors. Rogers, they got their roads all developed out. We made sure to match what they have going to the north, Springdale to the south. You'll notice there's an interchange proposed on 612 down the southwest corner. That was on Springdale's master street plan. Not really relevant to the limits of Lowell itself, but Springdale intends on extending Jean George Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken, up that way. So it might be reasonable to for a few examples. Yeah, if there's any questions, comments, concerns, we're here to answer any follow-ups you have. And I believe submitted with these maps, we also generated a change log, just if you needed a text spreadsheet, if that was more helpful to look at, to see what exactly was changed and what was intended, that's there as well.
Okay, well, this does require a public hearing, so that was giving us a good rundown of what we're looking at, the changes that we are looking to make in the master street plan. So here at 6:30, I'll open up the public hearing. If anyone would like to comment on what is being proposed to change here, we'd love to get your feedback on it. All right, I guess everyone's pretty satisfied with that. 6:31, we'll close that public hearing. So, all right, commissioners, thoughts, questions?
I just have a question regarding the roundabouts. So is the standard that was put in, I think if I'm looking at this correctly, number 3, that's the roundabout that was just put in by the school? Is that the standard for all roundabouts?
They'll be on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Okay.
What's the best fit for that specific location?
Gotcha.
Some of them will be multi-lane. The one with, say, highways will be bigger.
Okay.
So
Raised cross, not all of them?
you really want raised crosswalks to be strategically placed, so right there with next to the school.
Okay.
Young skilled children.
Sure.
You can add a few inches to their height so they're more visible. That made sense there, but it may not make sense somewhere like at McClure and Highway 265.
Right, right.
With a whole lot of traffic as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
case by case.
Good, so that's not gonna be just the standard, they're not gonna be all raised crosswalks like that.
No, no.
Case by case makes
It's all
sense.
designed.
It certainly makes sense by the school,
For
and you
sure,
want people to
right.
really slow down to make sure
Yeah.
around the school, for sure.
And then the underpass at 264 for the bikes, that's not part of the master street plan, is it? Or is it?
I mean, technically, it doesn't specifically call it out, but we do show the trail parallel to Goat Springs through there. We didn't have to specifically identify it as a part of the plan.
Okay.
Just that it crosses.
It's kind of difficult to see them here too, but normal trails before everything was just shown with a green line. The greenway, we added a black border. If you look at the interstate, it's yellow with a black border on that. So it's like the greenway's the interstate for traces.
Gotcha.
Make that a little more clear that it's the greenway.
Other questions?
And this is due for completion in 2026, right?
Well, it's.
I'm
well,
just kidding. Just kidding.
Not the
Just
construction, for
kidding.
sure. The plan, yes.
Now, one thing I would like to point out, and something that we would want to, I suppose, iron out officially, or I suppose it could be left long-term, the exhibit that we have in the top right corner. That is showing an alternative route, an alternative alignment that was considered for drawing a blank. Apple Blossom. Since Apple Blossom is being shown as more or less an arterial for Springdale, and it is a fairly frequented road, even by everything that we consider in Lowell, it is recommended having something redone between Goat Springs Road and what's that, Spring Creek?
Spring Creek, yeah.
Yes, and so,
Kind of straighten it out and bring it closer to the interstate there.
yes, something we've seen, and I believe this was out of the Springdale Master Streets plan, is if there's a little stub road there just north of the interstate. If we took the roadway through there and ran it across, more or less across the top of Puppy Creek until it matches in at Spring Creek, that's one possibility. It's also our recommendation that while you do have like established properties as part of a roadway there, it might make more sense to align it, as we've shown in the main drawing, kind of where the water pipeline was placed, where it weaves in between the properties as much as we can help it. And instead of going parallel on top of the creek, we just cross the creek, get to the other side, and as far as city infrastructure, that reduces the amount of, you know, raised roadway and protection for the creek and all that. It simplifies what would be needed in order to maintain such an alignment. So we could go either way. I could have it redrafted either way, and for all intents and purposes, we could also leave showing both if there was uncertainty as far as which way y'all wanted to go.
I mean, I don't have a problem with leaving it as an alternative to be determined when
Right.
we're ready to actually put some money to it and do construction. We may spend a lot of time now, and it could be 10 years before anything gets built. You know, developing all this and situations could change in that amount of time too. But I don't have a problem with leaving it as an alternative personally. I don't know what your thoughts are. But
No, I agree.
if we're not ready to start construction or
Because
put money to that,
Many things could change.
let all that be determined, because yeah, Northwest Arkansas changes so quickly.
That's all distant conceptual anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kinda like the alternative, having that there to give us a look at both of those, so if somebody's ready to actually take some action, it's already got some good thoughts and work put in on that. No, I see a lot of good things here. I see some new roads added in there that we need, and, you know, the more east-west roads that we can get, that's gonna help a lot, because I know this stoplight gets packed up pretty bad at certain times of day, and not many alternatives getting through there, so.
Does this require a motion and a vote? Is there anything we need to?
It is a public hearing on.
So we need to recommend,
Yes.
this is one of those recommend approval as is, or recommend changes, or recommend scrapping it, you know, yes, so this is a vote of a recommendation to the council. Hey, it looks good, go with it, or whatever.
So I'll make a motion to.
Do we have a public hearing already?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll make a motion to recommend accepting it, the plan as is.
Okay? All right, we have a motion and a second to recommend approval as it is proposed. So, roll call, please.
Tim Cox,
Yes.
Frank Mizuko,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Tony Kostarowski.
Yes.
Brian Clark,
Yes.
and the motion to approve the master street plan amendment is approved.
All right, thank you for your work on that, everyone.
Thank y'all.
Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for April the 6th. So we're moving right on into the springtime here. No discussions, no committee reports. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned, 6:38.